How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Market Masters YouTube channel. It's your boy Flooded. Today I'm going to be going over, some of the top gainers from today, how you could have played them, where you could have played them, just as a recap of today. And again, I'm going to be eliminating all indicators, just using support, resistance, and the naked chart so I can easily point out the trend, support and resistance, and how important these are for conviction in your trade. Let's get started. Kala, that is the first ticker of today's recap, and as you can see, we had our initial run early market after market open, hit that $9 resistance, came back down to that original area where we struggled a little bit to get over earlier, which is that $8 psychological support area. And as you can see, we had a strong bounce there. I want to note that area down as my support. Strong bounce there all the way till 940. That is where we saw a good amount of, just rejection and sellers, just bringing it down every time it got to that 940 area. So that's how we know that 940, 950 area, there's a lot of sellers. As you can see from this upper wick here, upper wick here, upper wick here, every time it touches that 9.4 area, sellers come in, bring it back down, buyers take it back up. Eventually sellers won, and we ended up breaking under that $9 support and coming back down to this, this 840 level, where as you can see, we saw bounce 1 and bounce 2. That's how I know 840 is my support area, and that is my current support. Next time it comes down to this area, I want to be a present buyer. I want to be ready. And as you can see here, perfect descending triangle, and again, triangles, downtrend breaks, some of my favorite and most consistent patterns to trade, especially in markets like this. And as you can see here, we got over this downtrend, came back down, retested it, beautiful bounce from the retest, and from there we had a huge rally all the way until 1750, where again we saw this downtrend, this descending triangle form, and beautiful pattern to trade. I love downtrend breaks, probably the most consistent setups in my opinion that have worked for me. And again, a beautiful descending triangle, and over here we got that full candle close above the resistance, confirmation, buying volume flooding in. I also want to be looking at my times and sales, level 2, all my present indicators to help me for my conviction for a trade. This is a beautiful candle close above the resistance, ended up making a move to 14.8. I want to note that area down as my resistance, and we just could not get over that until the end of the day, where we saw a candle close over that resistance and a great move till 16.5. and Kala was just an insane runner today. Definitely one of my top watches, especially for how primed it is looking in after hours. Would not be surprised at all if this had, a pretty big pre-market run. Maybe it's time we start seeing those, those multi-baggers again. But yeah, great run by Kala today. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. And yeah, let's move on to SMMT. SMMT, again, this chart is going to show you why downtrend breaks are great. And initial run in the morning where we tested this initial 4.35 resistance, could not get over it for a while, got over it, fake out, we dropped below. And in a situation like this, let's say I bought on the resistance break. Personally, as soon as we get that candle close under which is now our support, this line, see, I also want to point this out. For anyone who doesn't know and does not watch the videos, I always make sure to reiterate that old resistance becomes new support and old support becomes new resistance, and that is extremely important. It happens all the time, and here's a perfect example of that. This is our resistance right here. Right when we break it, this line now becomes support. That is what's also known as a retest, and when we come down to this line, in this case, we didn't hold it, but if I was to play it, and let me give an example. For example, right here, this line is our resistance. Once we broke over this line, we got that full candle close above the resistance. This line is now acting as our new support. I am always a present buyer at new support because retests are, for me personally, right up there with downtrend breaks on some of my favorite plays. to day trade, and we eventually came back down. Our first retest of that old resistance, beautiful bounce. Second retest, beautiful bounce. And this perfectly shows how this line acts as our new support. Old resistance becomes new support, old support becomes new resistance. Extremely important. And again, descending triangle, we break out of that. Oh, I'm sorry about that. We form another descending triangle, which we again break out of. Full candle close above the resistance, and just a huge move all the way till 5. So you could see, with screen time, with practice, with experience, realizing that, there's a trend here, this downtrend break is about to happen, will all come in it. Will eventually get easier and easier. It just takes practice. Let's move on from SMMT, comms. Now, there's just only a couple things that I want to go over in this chart. This stock didn't present, a lot of buying opportunities for us today. As you can see, it was a dry chart, for a good amount of the day. But here's something that I did want to go over. This line right here. Now, I want to express how important it is to, always go back in time. Go on the 5-minute, go on the 30-minute, go on the hour, go on the 4-hour chart. Sometimes if it's a multi-day, even go on the daily, for support and resistances. And this shows exactly that. As you can see here, this line right here was a beautiful bounce. But how could we have known it was going to bounce from this line? If we switch to the 5-minute, which me personally, I chart most of the stocks that I'm day trading on other time frames, just so I can get a larger time frame, a different level even. And we can see that this line has been used previously right here as for example, as a support. It was also used again here as a support. Now, when we broke under this line, as you can see, it was used as a resistance. Why? Because old support becomes new resistance. As you can see here, this line was used as our resistance, rejected it again, tested that same area, rejected it. So I know for a fact, once I get over this line, once I break this line, which is my resistance today, this line is going to become support. And we would have had this line from charting previous time frames. All I had to do was just go to yesterday. Boom, there's my clear, obvious resistance right there. Today, that is going to be my support and my resistance until we get over it. And then it becomes my support. Right as we broke that, got that full candle close above the resistance. Beautiful retest, beautiful bounce off support. Ended up testing, I'm going to flip back to the 1-minute time frame. Ended up testing that same level where we rejected earlier. Couldn't get over it. Tested it again. Couldn't get over it. Finally, we ended up cracking through it with, not a good amount, not a ton of buying volume, which is why, there wasn't an immediate move. But there was a pretty solid move to 0.8. Personally, I did not play this. It just lacked the volume for me. I like, higher volume, higher momentum trades that move, a lot quicker. And this wasn't one of those trades or plays today. But a very solid watch. We've seen this. We know what it can do. And definitely something that I'm going to be watching in the next couple days. After comms, I'm going to be reviewing Ruby. This is the final ticker of today's recap. And for this chart, I just wanted to, pretty much we did the same thing yesterday in last night's video on DRMA. And pretty much this chart, I just wanted to show you guys, as fast as something goes up, it can come down just as fast, and that's exactly what happened here. That's why, me personally, I never played the initial run. This is considered the initial run because that's where it started running. I always want to wait at least 30 minutes to an hour of consolidation. It gives me levels for me to trade off of before I place a trade. Now, with this initial run, and we see this, it's been happening the past couple weeks with penny stocks where, tiny penny stocks in the 10 to 30 to 40 cent range have just been popping and then dumping very quickly. So you never know when the dump starts. And Ruby, again, this one actually had, an insane move, 100%er, until, we hit that 40 cent level and just pretty much dumped it exactly where it came from. So just be careful on these plays, guys. Me personally, I will wait 30 minutes to 1 hour before So I have all my levels, and in this case, this chart gave us 0 levels. So this was, we were saved from entering this trade, and FOMO hits here. So please control your FOMO. We help a lot in the Discord. Just join up, link in bio, link in description, sorry, and ask us, what do you think about Ruby? And I'll give you my honest thoughts during the day. And yeah, that's pretty much all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to join the Discord, link in bio. We have a free and a paid section.